Shalom, shalom, it's the brother Kadash. I want to start off by giving our praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rakakadash. That will honest to all the brothers in this truth. This is just a lesson on the fact that Yahawashi will save us during these times. As I, sit to think about the lesson, you think of some of the things that is prophesied to happen, and it could frighten a lot of brothers, but what you always have to realize is just that Yahawashi did all this to be glorified and saving us. That's what his name means. So he gonna be there to help us when all of this starts to go down. That's the reason why we doing all this that we're doing. Keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, keeping the high holy day, Passover coming up. You praying and everything. You doing that because you really believe, and because you really believe, Yahweh will be there to save us. His elect for sure. And the thing is this is the Lord is the reason why we're doing all this. A lot of brothers, they kind of get caught up into, doing this. Like, you got to sit down and you got to ask yourself truthfully. You got to say, what is my real purpose for being in this truth? What is my real purpose for doing the work? And the answer to that should be the Lord. The Lord should be your main purpose. A lot of brothers get caught up in trying to prove themselves to other brothers and this rank and that rank. Look, it don't matter who it is. It don't matter what man it is that walk in this earth right now. Nobody can get you salvation but Yahawashi. So you could put the extra pressure on yourself, unnecessary pressure on yourself to, kind of try to go out your way to prove yourself to other brothers. But the only pressure, which is the most pressure, is the pressure from the Lord, doing the work from the Lord. A lot of brothers need that structure. That's fine if those brothers need that structure in order to stay in the truth and keep the faith. That's a great, beautiful thing. Some brothers don't need that structure. They can get it directly from the Lord. Now, does that mean you don't get your learning? Yeah, you learn from everything. You learn from all the brothers. I learn from animals. Sometimes I watch just the lions running around the jungle and stuff like that, and I learn from the lions. How they kind of got they lioness. How they set up everything. I learn from animals. You learn from everything, of course, but really it all go back to the Lord. Through the Spirit. So that's what you're doing this for. If you ain't doing this for the Lord, then you're gonna fall out. That's what this has to come down to. If brothers stop, if a certain group of brothers just stop messing with you, would you still be in the truth? That's what it comes down to. But this is John chapter 11. Just thought I'd say that because you got to do this all for Yahawashi, because Yahawashi is the only one that can save you. And he did everything he did for all of us. So this is John chapter 11, verse 51. It says, "And this spake he not of himself, but being high priest that year, he prophesied that Yahawashi should die for that nation, the nation of Israel." So Yahawashi died for us, not just for the end to come and, Yahawashi not save us when even his name means that. Yeah, he's going to be glorifying saving us. It says, and that's a prophecy that's going to be fulfilled. Verse 52, it said, "Not for that nation only, but that also he should gather together in one the children of God that were scattered abroad." I mean, he going to come back and save the elect. He going to gather us back together. That's going to happen. That's a prophecy right there. This is jumping back to Zephaniah chapter 3. Verse 18, it says, "I will gather them that are sorrowful." So long as you sorrowful, you believe, you circumcise your heart, you follow the Lord, follow law, statutes, commandments, you do the work to the best of your abilities. The Lord put the Spirit on you to do a certain amount of work. He gives a different portion to each brother. He says, "I will gather them that are sorrowful for the soul men as assembly, who are of thee, to who the reproach of it was a burden." So verse 19 is good too. It says, "Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that hotteth, and gather her that was driven out, and I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame." That's important. That's really important right there, because a lot of brothers, what I've been noticing just from watching, brothers, they kind of trying to get that praise and that fame right now. And that's just the truth. Brothers trying to get that praise and that fame right now. Man, all you gotta do is keep your head down, do the work, man. Keep the law, statutes, commandments. The Lord gonna get us praise and fame. It's gonna be enough praise and fame for every man. Your ultimate goal should be to be the part of the elect. Make it up on those ships, be saved. That's your ultimate goal, man. This is the ultimate goal right here. Let me grab it. And then I'm gonna jump back to that one. Let me grab it from the scriptures. This is the ultimate goal right here. This is Matthew chapter 25, starting at verse 31. It says, when the Son of Man should come in his glory, and the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory, and before him shall be gathered all nations. See, there go that gathering again. And he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, and the goats on his left. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, come ye, blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. And that's the goal. That's the main goal, So it's the goal to please this brother. No. It's the goal to please that brother. No. I gotta prove myself to. No, man. That's the main goal. That's the main person, because that's who you have to work out your salvation for. Every single man has to. So that's the main goal, is to please Yahawashi, please the Father, Yahweh. And hear those words. Come ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom. That's the main goal. So you gotta kind of you gotta have tunnel vision and stay straight on that on a straight road to that goal right there. You can't get sidetracked about this. Oh, okay, now this is going on between the camps, and okay, this brother thinks that he's some type of enforcer of the gospel, and he gotta go and do that. Man, hey man, fuck all that. The main goal, look, do the work, because that shows your belief. Keep the faith, and you want to hear those words. And can't no brother tell you that they going to be a part of that. And can't no brother tell you that you not going to be a part of that. They don't know. They could guess, but remember, don't none of that matter. What matters is what Yahawashi thinks. You see what I'm saying? So you got to keep you just got to keep your head down, And then, you get the scriptures, the correct breakdowns, the learnings, the understandings from the elders. But at the same time, you were supposed to study this yourself too, because you see a lot of different camps where they follow their leader, even if he's wrong. Clearly, I can name one that y'all already know, but I ain't gonna name it, because that ain't for me to do. You see what I'm saying? So they follow their leader, even though their leader is clearly wrong. They gonna follow him because they following the man. They not following Yahawashi first. And that goes with every man that walks this earth. I mean, it's just the truth. But this is Matthew chapter 21, verse 4. It says, and God shall wipe away the tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, neither nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. Why? Because the Lord came back. He's going to come back and save us. He's going to be there with us. And he that sat upon the throne said, behold, I will make all things new. And he said unto me, right, for these words are true and faithful. And then, I mean, he going to wipe away the tears. There ain't going to be no more death. Why? Because he's going to help us in the time of our affliction. He's going to help us when they come down, a great multitude come down on us. The devil come down knowing his time is short. He's going to be there to help us during that whole time, And me, that's like I keep saying, that's the main goal. So any brothers, hopefully this is being edifying, but you just gotta really just take a step back, evaluate yourself, and just realize that what's your main goal. A lot of brothers want to go get on this brother, get on that brother. They kind of feel like they Yahawashi now, like they could, man. Look, just do the work. Is the main goal. What's your main goal? But this is about Yahawashi living up to his name and his word, that he is in the prophecy that he was going to come back and he was going to be the savior, which he is. That's going to happen. It's nothing that nobody could do to stop that. That's going to happen regardless. So I'm gonna keep going back to it. I know it sounds like a broken record, but it's gonna sound that way all the way into the end. Because that's all you gotta do. Yahawashi already did all the hard work for us. He already did all the hard work for us. What did he require of us? To teach this word to a neighbor, to a brother. Here, let me see if I can find it. Zechariah chapter 8, verse 16. These are the things that ye should do. Speak ye every man the truth to his neighbor. Execute the judgment of truth and peace in your gates. And that's what it's really about. And let none of you imagine evil in your hearts against his neighbor. And love no false oath. For all these things I hate, saith the Lord. So, we gotta execute that truth and that peace in our gates. But at the same time, I know a lot of brothers say, well, I'm executing the judgment, truth, and peace in my gates. I'm gonna rebuke. I'm a strongly rebuke a brother. Yeah, but you got to remember and let none of you imagine evil in your hearts against his neighbor. So when a brother, like, let's just say, I give you an example, a brother go off, how I would handle it. You could strongly rebuke if you want to, but I'm not gonna rebuke you to the point where I'm like, you gonna get burnt up, or your head's gonna get chopped off. Yahawashi is gonna come back. No, if anything, I would be praying for the Lord to have mercy on you. I would pray even if you did wrong, I would say, look, man, pray for the Lord to have mercy on him. Rather than because when you go that for it, you imagine the evil towards him, and that could come back on you. So I mean, this is real true. I ain't write these words. I'm just teaching them, learning them, and teaching them. So I ain't write these words. So this, you got to think of this as all inspired from the Lord. So you have to be very careful with, because you always got to come from the standpoint, it's like you not shit, you not nothing. You can't kind of get big headed and kind of you get yourself in a bad position, man. Get yourself in a real bad position. Here, let me jump now to. Let me jump back here. Isaiah. Come on now. Right here. This is Isaiah chapter 41. Starting at verse 8. Isaiah chapter 41, starting at verse 8. It says, but thou Israel art my servant, Jacob who I have chose, the seed of Abraham, my friend. Though who I have taken from the ends of the earth, and called thee from the chief man thereof, and said unto thee, thou art my servant, I have chose thee, and not cast thee away. It says, fear thou not, for I am with thee. See, so the Lord gonna be with us. He's with us right now. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee. Yeah, I will help thee. See, and that's what this is all about. Is that the Lord, is gonna help us. It says, I will help thee. Here, let me see. Oh yeah, let me jump back to that. It says, yeah, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. Behold, all they that were incensed against thee shall be ashamed and confounded. They shall be as nothing, and they that strive with thee shall perish. So how could the Lord help you? In a lot of different ways. With the chariots, could just directly translate you up, like Enoch, like Elijah. He could give you spiritual power, like Samson. During these end times, you might get bound, and you might get super strength and be able to break out. Like, I mean, there's plenty of examples all through the Bible, or he could send an angel down, and the angel could save you. The same way, who was that saved out of prison? Paul, and who else? Yeah, Paul. I'll see if I can find it. But it's a lot of different ways the Lord can help you, by just giving you spiritual power, But verse 11 says, behold, all they that were incensed, I already read that. But all they that was incensed against thee shall be ashamed and confounded. They shall be as nothing. They shall strive with thee, shall perish, So he's going to give you that power over the nations. It says, thou shalt seek them and shall not find them. Even them that contend with thee, they that war against thee shall be as nothing and as a thing of naught. That's going to happen when the Lord, returns. It says, for I, the Lord, thy God, will hold thy right hand. See, so the Lord saying, look, he going to hold our right hand, meaning he going to be there with us. He's going to be there to help us. Saying unto thee, fear not. So you might as well not fear. I will help thee. That's prophecy is going to happen. It says, fear not thou worm, Jacob, O ye man of Israel, I will help thee. Save the Lord and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. So the Lord help us in a physical way, in a spiritual way. You kind of down on your spirit. That's why you got to pray to the Lord. The Lord to give you more spirit. He'll boost your spirit. He can help you in that way. You can't understand something, you pray to the Lord. He could open up your understanding, give you understanding, Now, do that mean you got to go pray to this brother? You got to kind of pray to this brother and ask him to. No, you could pray to your Lord. You could go to your Lord. A lot of, see, and I'm only saying that just to say, look, I see like a lot of different brothers, they put a lot of unnecessary pressure on themselves. When there's a straight way in, and that's Yahawashi. So the Lord, you can get these things directly from the Lord. Israelite man, the elect, you could go directly to the Lord. You pray to the Lord, and the Lord could give you these things. He could use other men to give you these things, or he could just give them directly to you. It says, verse 15, behold, I will make thee a new sharp thrusting instrument, having teeth. Thou shalt thrust the mountains and beat them small, and shall make the hills as chaff. Yeah, we gonna get that spiritual power, man. Verse 16, it says, thou shalt fan them, and the wind should carry them away, and the whirlwind should scatter them. And thou shalt rejoice in the Lord, and should glory in the Holy One of Israel. That's who you put your glory in. It's the Lord. Because the Lord going to be, like I said, the Lord is going to be glorified by saving us. That's going to fulfill prophecy by saving us. So yes, the Lord, Yahawashi, will be there to help us. It's going to happen. Here's Isaiah chapter 26. This is, remember I said he could help you with the chariots. Yeah, this is one way right here. Isaiah 26, verse 20. Come, my people, enter into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee, hide themselves as it were for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed. For behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also should disclose her blood, and should no more cover her slain. So, come into thy chambers, the chambers of those so-called UFOs, which are the chariots of Israel, and you come in there and hide yourself, meaning that the Lord saved you when that happened, Here, let me jump to precept, if I can find it. First Thessalonians 4:17. It says, then we which are alive and remain should be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord. Right. That's that salvation. But what you looking at on your screen, a gigantic chariot. You see the light coming from bottom of it. It's calling up the elect into the skies, into the clouds, into the chambers, where you gonna be with the Lord until the indignation pass. Here, let me grab another one. Zephaniah chapter 2. Gather yourself together, gather together, O nation not desired, before the degree bring forth, before the day pass as a chef, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you, before the day of the Lord anger come upon you. Seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth, which wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness, seek meekness, it may be ye should be hid in the day of the Lord's anger. Which mean what? The Lord gonna save you. The Lord gonna help you. The Lord gonna hide you from that anger, that judgment that he's gonna be bringing down on the earth. Here, let me see. This is no, it's not that. Here, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, this is this is Revelations chapter 2, verse 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. I know thy blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Fear none of these things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, some, the martyrs, and I will give thee a crown of life. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saying to the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. So the Lord could save you from the second death. But the thing is we read like in Second Maccabees chapter 6, Second Maccabees chapter 7. Eleazar, but then you got the seven brothers in Second Maccabees chapter 7. Even if they did have to go through death, they didn't feel no pain because the Lord saved them in that way, and they were saved. They're going to be saved from that second death. So the Lord can save you in that way too. Here, Revelations 2, verse 26, it says, and he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him I will give power over the nations. So the Lord can save you by giving you that spiritual power. And he gonna be with us by giving us. See, it says, I would give power over the nations, meaning the Lord is going to give us. It says, he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as a vessel of powder shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father. So you could he gonna give us that spiritual power. Revelations 3 and 10, which is what I was looking for. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also would keep thee from the hour of temptation. So even spiritually, the Lord he's going to be able to help us with temptation. With the mark of the beast, not taking the mark of the beast, giving you that faith, that spirit, to not take the mark of the beast. It says, which should come upon the whole world and try them that dwell upon the earth. So the Lord is going to be there. He got every angle covered, every angle covered. But the thing is, the most important thing is that you have to believe. That's what it comes down to, because it's not. You do have to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, but brothers is going to be saved that wake up to the truth at the last moment, which shows you that what is it really about. Well, it's about you really believing. Just like the two thieves that was crucified with Yahawashi, they believed at the very last moment, and they was rewarded for that. So that's what it really comes down to. This all goes back to our belief, our faith, keeping the faith. This is Isaiah 43. Let me see where. Verse 1, it says, but now thus saith the Lord that created thee, O Jacob, he that formed thee, O Israel, fear not. Why should we not fear? For I have redeemed thee. I have called thee by thy name. Thou art mine. We belong to the Lord. He created us a holy nation. He formed us. He told us to fear not. And this is what this is for. For brothers that's fearing, brothers that's kind of going back and forth with it when these things are starting to happen, and the afflictions and tribulation and all that, brothers kind of get weary. But we all going be shaken up, but at the same time fear not, because you got to understand the Lord gonna redeem us. The Lord gonna be glorified in doing it. Don't get weak in this faith. Things might not be going your way in the truth. You might be trying to please other brothers, but that ain't working well for you, and you can kind of get weak in the truth, and you feel like giving up, but don't give up. Do not fear not. Don't fear. Because I remember I used to talk to a brother, and one of his main fears was always falling out the truth. That's one of the main things he always talk about. Like, man, I just don't want to fall off. Man, fear not. You got to really believe. Verse 2, it says, when thou passeth through the waters, I will be with thee. See? And through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. So it could be the Red Sea. Man, this Bible's so great. And it's truth. And when you study in it, that's how it all comes together, man. It's so great. With the Red Sea, they didn't fear. They got to the Red Sea and things happened. So that's a perfect example with Moses, splitting the Red Sea, that the Lord was with them. It says, when thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned. You read about that in the book of Daniel. The three brothers that went through the fire, the furnace, but they weren't burned, because they seen the angel, the Lord wasn't there with them, or it was an angel that saved them. But it says, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. And that's exactly what happened. It says, "For I am the Lord thy God, the Holy One of Israel, thy Savior. I gave Egypt for my ransom, Ethiopia and Saba for thee. Since thou was precious in my sight, thou hast been honorable, and I have loved thee. Therefore will I give man for thee, and people for thy life." Right? Because all the other nations, they go into captivity because they got a punishment, they got a judgment from the Lord that they have to serve out the same way that the Israelites, we had to serve our punishment, our judgment. The curses of Deuteronomy 28. So the other nations are going to have to. They're going to go into captivity because when you get to Revelations 13, I'll jump to it. I mean, it pretty much just sums it up. You go back to Isaiah 14, Isaiah 13, but I mean, this pretty much sums it up. Revelation chapter 13, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity should go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. So all these other nations, they did those things. You could look them up. So therefore, those things have to happen to them. Once that's over and done with, then you get to Zechariah chapter 14, where they will be able to go back to their lands, but everything is still going to be in order under the Israelites. I could pull it real quick just in case you don't know what I'm talking about, right? Zechariah 14:12. And this should be the plague wherewith with the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. See? Their flesh should consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes should consume away in their holes, and their tongue should consume away in their mouth. That's the nuclear weapons, the second death. It says, and it should come to pass in that day that a great atonement from the Lord should be among them, and they should lay hold every one on his hand of his neighbor, and his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor. And Judah also shall fight at Jerusalem, and the wealth of all the heathen round about should be gathered together, gold and silver and pearl in great abundance. Yeah, because anything they got worthy, we gonna take. They gonna be offering to us, because why? We gonna be in rulership. You read about that in Revelation chapter 21 too. I could keep going, man, linking all these scriptures together, but I want to get straight to the point. Verse 15, and so shall be the plague of the horse and the mule and the camel and the ass and all the beasts that shall be in these tents as the plague. And it should come to pass that everyone that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem should even go up. So this when they get their lands back, their heritage back. They should go up from year to year to worship the King and the Lord of hosts and to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. So they're going to be forced to come up to Jerusalem. Even though they fought against us, they're going to be forced to come up and keep these things. Why? Verse 17. And it should be that whosoever will not come up of all the families of the earth into Jerusalem to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, even upon them should be no rain. And then it goes into some of the plagues that will come upon them. I'm not going to get it right now because I'm going to jump back to Isaiah 43. Just just to kind of you want to kind of slow it down, and you want to prove what you're saying, but Isaiah 43 is pretty deep. Here it says, verse 4, since thou was precious in my sight, thou hast been honorable, and I have loved thee. Therefore I will give man for thee and people for thy life. Verse 5, fear not. Why? Because the Lord will help us, man. It says, for I am with thee. See, he gonna help us. It says, I will bring thy seed from the east and gather thee from the west. I will say to the north, give up, and to the south, keep not back. Bring my sons from afar and my daughters from the ends of the earth. And this is going to happen now. So there's some scholars that say this happened then, with the Israelites coming out of Babylon, prophecy about the Israelites coming out of Babylon. But this is going to happen now in this time, because you got to remember, we're scattered right now, through all the ends of the earth. But the Lord is going to come back, save on his second coming. He's going to come back and save us and take us back to the land and fulfill the prophecies. It says, verse 7, even everyone that is called by my name, for I have created him for my glory. I have formed him, yeah, I have made him. Bring forth the blind people that have eyes, and the deaf that have ears. Let all the nations be gathered together, and let the people be assembled, who among them can declare this and show us former things. Let them bring forth their witnesses, that they may be justified, or let them hear and say it is truth. Ye are my witnesses, say the Lord, and my servant who I have chosen, who? Jacob, Israel, oh Israel. When you get back to verse 1, Salaki about that. It says that ye may know and believe me and understand that I am he. Before me there was no God formed, which y'all got to realize that, you can't keep going to this idol worshiping. We going to have to realize that, and it's going to come a point to where the whole world is going to realize that and respect that. Neither should there be after me. Even I am the Lord, and besides me there is no Savior. But the point is the Lord is the Savior. So what? He gonna be there for us. He gonna be there for us, man. You just can't give up the faith, and you just gotta really believe and never let go of that belief. Always believe, no matter how hard it get. That's the test. No matter what you go through, always believe. Just like Peter was walking on water to meet Yahawashi. Yahawashi was walking on water. Peter took a couple steps, and he was able to do it until he started to doubt. So don't never doubt it. The elders, they then broke down the truth to us. If you need to get the truth, you could go through their old videos and study. You could study the Bible yourself. Ask the Lord for understanding. Ask the Lord for more faith, and stuff like that. And just continue to believe, because things are gonna get a lot harder, and the Lord will be there to help us. So with that, I'm gonna say, all praises to Yahweh Bahashim Yahawashi. Salvation to the elect. Shalom.